Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the debut race of the debut series of the debut season. This is race one of season one of the NASCAR M&M's Cup Series. As we are live from the Daytona International Speedway, getting ready for tonight's 32 lap race. It is the United Rentals 300. Going to be using the the description from the sign up, so that way I know who is driving what in tonight's race. On the pole position is a driver I have heard of before, Samad Ozkin. Of course, he runs in the Oreo Cup Series, and we'll see how he does in that number 20 out of Joe Gibbs Racing. Alongside is a driver I've never heard of before. That's Ellie Rose in the 21. Quentin Moore, who won the Foster Series race here at Daytona when we were here in the final of our season of PCS Ray. He's in row number 2, and he's alongside of Austin Scott in the number 24 machine. He is a driver I've never had on the channel. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup, 41 drivers entered. All 41 will start this race in the season. Oh, hold on. See if these drivers can roll off the grid this time around without any issues. Looks like they are. You know, a new series comes, new expectations for these drivers. Of course, we are running the NXS 20 mod, which last time we ran this mod was back around the final ever Buffalo Wild Wings series season. You know, a lot of names that I've never heard of before. A lot of drivers who have either took part in special events or other series I run on the channel. And majority of this field making their first ever start on the channel. So, amen to that. 32 laps of racing here this evening at the World Center of Speed, Daytona International Speedway. They can only go a total of 63 laps on a fuel run, so don't think fuel is going to be the issue. The question I'm going to have going into tonight's race is if and when are we going to have the dreaded big one that could strike at any moment. We will have to wait and see. And of course, it is under the lights. And we're going to have a very fun race here today. First race of 33 we're going to contest in this season's M&M's Cup Series, and we're going to crown our first winner here tonight. Green flag is in the air. The M&M's Cup Series era begins. Samad Ozkin leads the field down the back straightaway. If you guys don't know, these 41 cars, these are the cars we had in the real-life NASCAR Xfinity Series. And Samad Ozkin will lead the first lap of this race. Here comes the 19. That's Muhammad Zain. That's Samad Ozkin's teammate. In the 19 machine, Mohammed Zain we'll see in the Oreo Cup Series next season. Right behind him is Bushy Clements in the 51, a driver I've never heard of before on the channel. This is his first start, as Oskin threw a block on Clements. Bushy Clements not related to Jeremy Clements, just letting you guys know. Everybody's favorite driver, Maxie Chilton, a driver who really stunned a lot of people in the Foster Series. In the number 4, that is for, and this is kind of strange to see a 4 that's not JD Motorsports. This is Alpha Prime Racing. Kind of strange to see the 4 running for Alpha Prime. And right behind him is Luke Contreras in the 35 for Joey Gase Motorsports. This is a driver I've never heard of before. And I don't think anybody in the NR community has ever heard of Lupe Contreras. Lupe in the second position, L Bianchi. I've heard of him before for Junior Motorsports. As Lupe Contreras is going to take the lead, L Bianchi driving the Brandt Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports here in the M&M's Cup Series, which this series is going to be a Xfinity series, by the way. Right behind him is JP Latero in the 00 for Haas Factory Racing. JP Latero, another driver I've never heard of before on the channel, but there is the Camping World Truck Series champion, Skylar Taylor in the 5. Skylar Taylor driving for Our Motorsports is number 5. And seeing right behind him, who's that on that inside line? That's Cole Coybe. We've heard of Cole Coybe before. He's taken part in some races on this channel. As Lupe Contreras led his first ever lap on the channel. And now he leads another lap here at Daytona. Nobody's going to have any fuel issues. These cars can make it 32 laps, so Cole Coybe right there. This is Emberly Marsh in the 27. We've seen Campbell Marsh, who will be taking part in the Red Bull GT Series coming up in Season 4. Evelyn Marsh, this is a gal I've never heard of before, but this is a guy that everybody should be keeping an eye on as possibly a championship favorite, Dylan Cunningham. Not surprised to see Dylan Cunningham in this series. In the Colleague Racing number 11. Thought I saw somebody below the yellow line back there, but apparently I'm seeing things. Aaron Crowder. Another driver I have no notes about. And there's the gal that was the runner-up in the Monster Energy Series, Lauren Eckstrom. Lauren Eckstrom also got married in the off-season, if you ask me. Austin Lorang, another driver I've never heard of on this channel before. Bianchi is... Check the back of the field here. There's Sylvia Cunningham in the 14. Currently running in the 40th position. I think we have somebody out of the race, do we? Or... Where's the 18? Dylan Ibrahimian's on pit road. Something's up with his machine. Uh-oh. So something is up with Dylan Ibrahimian in the number 18. Casey Hoyt in the 32. I've heard of Casey Hoyt in the NR community. Matt Gomes in the 25, a driver I've never heard of before. Same with Harold Fartesco. If I'm saying your names is wrong, if I say your last name wrong, I do apologize, folks. Yahtzee Azel in the 45, another driver I've never heard of. But this is a driver I've heard of this driver before, but I don't think I've had her on the channel. That would be Tori Gossin, the 29. There's the teammate to JP Latiro, and that is Jake Brentley, another driver I've heard little to no notes. Josh Harmon, part of Skylar Taylor's team. Logan Hoyt, this is Casey Hoyt's brother. Josh Harmon right there. There's Fitzwater, Zachary Fitzwater. Quentin Moore. Definitely know Quentin Moore a lot. Has the 18 gone back out on the track? The answer is no. So whatever the issue is on that Toyota, that's not the start of the season Dylan Ibrahimian was hoping for. Right now in second is Ayrton De Silva, another driver I've gotten no notes about. Rogel Dorn, I've heard of him before. He last took part in a special event on this channel. Driving for Junior Motorsports. That's Ray Atikian in the 70. The 92, that's Tyson Aquino. Tyson Aquino, a driver I've never heard of before on this channel. There's a lot of drivers I've never heard of. This driver is another one I've never heard of, J Isley. I've heard nothing about, never heard of him before. Going to be interesting to get to know him during the course of this race. Looks like Ibrahimian is still stuck on pit road, so this must be something terminal. That's a tough break. Oh, he must have had a problem. And looks like he's going to be down the way, but now he's lost 4 laps doing so. That's a tough break for a driver part of Summit Oskins' team. See if we have anybody. Connor Breton, the 42, we know him. Jake Foster, a driver I've never heard of before. I've heard of a Nick and Sally Foster, but never a Jacob Foster, excuse me. Never heard of him before. Cody Smart, I've had him on this channel a lot. I see baby CJ in the 53. That's Daniel Gitirokh in front of him. Gitirokh is another driver who, last time I saw him on the channel, he was in a special event as Aaron Crowder leads this race. Rogel Dorn, I've heard of that name. Of course, he's under Captain Frank. Rogel Dorn is driving for Junior Motorsports. Sorry, I'm just looking at my work schedule for next week. Connor Breton of 42. Dylan Ebian's in turn number... Coming off of turn 4, the leaders are about to start the back straightaway as we're, oh, by the way, nearing the midway point of tonight's race. To the lead goes L Bianchi in the 7. Bianchi and R Dorn, those two are teammates for Junior Motorsports. Jacob Foster right now currently going into third position. Can run for Connor Breton in the 42. Oh, somebody's blown up. That's the 26. That's Shane Scott. The engine has let go on that machine. That's really held up these drivers. Summit Oskin got held up. Ellie Rose, Yahtzee Assel, Tori Gossett, Jake Brentley. And there's our first driver now out of this race. It's a camshaft that let go on the 26. That's a tough break for Shane Scott. Strange to see the 26 with a driver that's not yours truly. So Shane Scott out of the race, but that's a tough break for him. But we have only 30. We have 32 more opportunities for him to catch up, and he'll look to rebound entering next week's race. Next week we head to Sin City, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Be at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Of course, all these races will take part on Thursdays. Or no, will take part on Mondays now. So that means we'll have Dylan Ibrahimian now in the 41st or in the 40th position, excuse me. Down to 12 laps of racing to go. I mean, it really broke the field up as we got now 31 drivers. As Casey Hoyt's about to lose the draft right now. Currently have 31 in this lead pack. The second pack led by Ellie Rose trying to catch up. Hate that for these drivers that got held up, but nothing that you can really do about it. But as I said, this is the first race of the year. These drivers are going to have to hope and pray they can get a nice recovery going into next week's race at Las Vegas. It's like De Silva is about to lose the draft if he doesn't get there. We go. As Bianchi was the leader, now it's the 8 machine. That's Christopher Bright. Haven't seen Christopher Bright since the Red Bull GT series, believe it or not. Now, Bushy Clements led that lap, but now that's going to go to Josh Harmon in the 07 machine. As Dylan Ibrahimian did get by the 26, so we have now 40 drivers on track, 39 of them on the lead lap. This is going to be a fun fun M&M's Cup series, and as I'm recording this, I have a box of M&M's chocolate in the booth somebody gave me. So yeah, I'm representing the series well. Fitzwater was up here at the front for a second. Now it's still the 07. Of course, if you notice the Chevys, it has Chevy on there instead of Camaro. Yes, they're still running the Chevy Camaros, but they haven't had a new car brand yet so far. And whenever we find out when that car brand will be, we'll let you guys know what the car brands will be. Should we do a second season of this series? And who are they lapping? That would be Dylan Ibrahimian. Now, he is up to speed, so don't think that's going to be an issue for the leaders. Even though he's like about to be 5 laps down as he chops off Josh Harmon. I mean, not the way he wanted to end off his, not the way he wanted to start off his season tonight, but of course he's gonna hope to turn it around next week at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Should be a fun race over there in Viva Las Vegas. Here comes the 92 machine. Tyson Aquino. I may have Google Translate help me pronounce these names correctly. Eckstorm's in the mix right there. And don't count Emberly Marsh. Emberly Marsh could have something to say about this win here tonight. As we're going to be at 3 laps of racing to go here at the line. The Junior Motorsports pair, the 88 and the 1 up here at the front. Here comes J Isley and his teammate Rogel Dorn in the 1 as we're down to 3 laps of racing to go. Let's go on board at 21, see if they're making any progress. Looks like they are not. These guys are going to have a pretty dismal finish to the end of this race. We're going to have 2 laps of racing to go next time by. I want to remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association, the Blue Hedgehog TV, for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmission or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association, the Blue Hedgehog TV, is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV and the World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your awesome support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. This is the only time we're going to see this series on a Monday. I'll find a good date for this series, for the M&M's Cup series. Of course, this video coming out on the 24th, or today is the 24th if you're seeing this. We're on the last lap, by the way. Does anybody have anything for that 88 team? Don't know if they will. And coming into the Tri-Oval, it's going to be the win for J Isley. The winner of the first ever M&M's Cup Series, taking the United Rentals 300 at Daytona. in his first ever start on this channel. And the best part, he beat baby CJ. That's even better. Still gonna wait. Okay, standings are now official. Good job to J Isley on getting the win here tonight at Daytona. Second place, CJ Bracken. Good run for him. Connor Breton gets third. Aaron Crowder gets fourth, and R Atikian in the top five. So good run for a couple of underfunded teams as far as that is concerned. L Bianchi gets sixth. Cody Smart seventh. Another driver I've never heard of before, that is Z Panini. We didn't talk much about the 71 all night. He gets a strong 8th place finish. R Dorn 9th, and Skylar Taylor will complete the top 10. Great run for that 5 machine out of Junior Motorsports. Daniel Gitirokh, Jacob Foster, Sylvia Cunningham. She was at the rear of the field before that happened. Tyson Aquino and Logan Hoyt was your top 15. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, a lot of drivers who had high hopes going in this race did not get the runs they were hoping for. Summit Oskin, our pole setter, 36. Quentin Moore was the last driver to finish on the lead lap in 39. So we had 40 drivers finish on track, 39 in the lead lap. Dylan Ibrahimian, not entirely sure what was wrong with his machine. I think it was a flat tire and he couldn't get back to pit road. Lost 6 laps doing so in the 40th position, but he still finished the race. And only one driver finished out of the race after a caution-free race. That was Shane Scott, who had a mechanical failure, which was a camshaft that let go on his Toyota Supra, and what put him back behind the wall. But what a way to start the season off. Congratulations to J Isley on the win. Next week, these drivers are heading to the West Coast, starting at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That should be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race from Daytona. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We've shown your full finisher results. Your point standings are going to be the exact same as your official finisher results with all the bonus points and all that. Heading into next week at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which for the rest of the season will be on a Tuesday, because Red Bull GT Series stuff will be back next week, as they're going to have their or actually, this race will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because of the fact we have the Red Bull GT Series stuff coming up next week. So Red Bull GT Series Season 4 will be at Coca-Cola. This series will be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and all that, yada, yada, yada. We got to finish up this race weekend, as we have coming up here on the week of the 24th, as I get back to my calendar here. We have the Oreo Cup Series coming your way as they head to New Mexico for the first ever time. Go or Go Home qualifying and the main event will be all in one video. That should be a lot of fun. And then we have Craftsman Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup Series coming your way from Darlington Raceway. That should be a lot of fun. And then next week, as I said, we have the third Red Bull GT Series will be back. They will be at Coca-Cola. They'll have that race, their Go or Go Home qualifying at 9 a.m. Coca-Cola for their first race of the year. We will see these drivers at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Viva Las Vegas. And then Oreo Cup Series will head to Riverside before Craftsman Trucks head to Phoenix. And then Busch and Winston Cup head to the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway. You don't want to miss all the racing we got coming up on this channel. Until then, I'm D Gitirokh signing off. We'll see you guys next time, as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013.